everyone. Welcome to our Go Live series. Follow our journey through radical remission coach training. This week, Jessica and I are going to discuss collaboration in the setting of health and wellness coaching. So we will explore how coaches and coachees can integrate resources from both traditional healthcare system and holistic integrative modalities to optimize well-being. So for me, collaboration reminds me of the key factor in Dr. Kelly Turner's work, social support. In her book, she discusses how in every stage of life, humans rely on each other. So as babies, we are one of the most helpless mammals on the planet. When we are ill, the support of others is vital. And I highly encourage you to read both of her books, Radical Remission and Radical Hope, to learn more about the social support topic. And what I have recognized is that as a solo entrepreneur, social support has also proven to be extremely helpful to me. So it can be a little lonely as a solo entrepreneur, and I would be completely lost without the social support and collaboration from my mentors, coaches, networking groups, friends, family, from all the support that I've had. And as a solo entrepreneur in the health and wellness field, I believe that the same is true for our clients. It's likely that it would be easier for them to reach their optimal wellness by utilizing multiple service professionals, such as doctors, counselors, healthcare coaches, nutritionists, etc. So I believe that to successfully deliver a holistic approach to wellness, we as coaches need to work together and collaborate with health and wellness professionals and organizations.
Thank you, Cheryl. I love that. The collaboration is so important. That holistic picture you're talking about for our well-being, and enhancing and optimizing our health and well-being is universal, regardless of our walk in life, right? Or what situation we're in. And collaboration is definitely something, figuring out what resources are available, how to utilize them, how to integrate them and work together is really important. And that could be for someone who's healthy, looking to enhance their health even further. It could be for someone at any stage of life, chronic disease, anything that they're working towards. Just knowing what's out there and never just settling with the first thing that you find or the first thing that's told to you. Not to say that it's not right. It's just that there's more out there. There's always stuff underneath the surface, right? Underneath the surface of an iceberg. So, and it also aligns, you're talking about the holistic definition of well-being. We don't just exist in like a physical plane or anything like that. The World Health Organization defines health as a state of mental, physical, and social well-being, right? Not just merely the absence of disease. And so with that in mind, keeping that big holistic picture and all of our domains of existence in mind, it makes sense that collaboration it's natural, basically, from there. And so, given all of that too, it's amazing because no one size is going to fit all. There's never going to be just one right answer for anyone, and there are so many multimodalities to utilize that. So it's how do we figure out what they are? How do we utilize these as coaches? And if you're being coached on something, how do you get to know what's out there and figure out what's credible?
Yeah, you bring up a lot of good points. And for me, what it brings up is just because we work in the field of health and wellness by no means means that we are going to be experts in everything health and wellness. We're also may not be the best personality match for everyone. And both of those are okay. The most important thing is to assist individuals on their journey to reaching their optimal health and wellness. So that often means collaborating and also referring even to another coach sometimes. So like you mentioned, how do we do this in a responsible way? So for me, I think that we need to build relationships with other health and wellness providers. And when we're able, I think we should even try to experience that provider or modality that we're referring to ourselves. I think that it would be beneficial to have a list of nationally recognized resources that we could offer to our clients. When referring to other providers or professionals, I think that we should provide options to our clients. Like we talked about last week, empowerment. How do we empower our clients? And I think that's one way, at least, is to allow them to make choices, show them that they have choices, and allow them to make their own decisions. And so I think by giving options, that will help to empower our clients. But most importantly, I think we need to be very honest and open with our communication, as is with everything. But, if you're referring somebody, maybe giving um, objective information rather than subjective reasons as to why we're recommending them to a specific health and wellness professional. So, if a client of mine really feels that they need massage therapy, I don't just want to say, oh, this is a great massage therapist, because what that means to me is going to be completely different as to what that means to you. So how do we refer in an objective way? I have worked with this massage therapist. They did a really individualized consultation at the beginning of the session. These are the reasons and why I am referring this provider. And the other thing with that is the honesty. So if we don't have a specific recommendation, you may feel the urge to feel you should have a resource, or you should know more about something that your client is bringing up and asking you. But honesty is much more important. So just explaining, you don't have all the answers. I don't have someone to recommend for that. Because you really don't want to lose that trust with your client. Not only could that have an impact on your relationship with the client, but it could also have an impact on how the client then perceives other health and wellness professionals as well. And by no means do we want to disrupt any sort of future relationships.
I love that, the evidence-based. So, right? Because the truth lies in objectivity. Truth lies in objectivity. And so you had mentioned the example of massage. If you take the example of, so it's no secret, right, that most chronic diseases in this world are lifestyle born in this day and age. And so one reason why it's really important to know what's out there and empower yourself with that knowledge is because if lifestyle can cause disease, lifestyle can contribute significantly to preventing and healing diseases. And that's not a secret. That's evidence-based knowledge. And you were talking about the should, like we should know something, but maybe not have that knowledge. For me, that's come up a lot with nutrition. I am learning about it. I accept my humility in nutrition. And it's actually one of the most controversial topics too in lifestyle medicine. And so food is really powerful. Food as medicine is a huge movement, and it's very true. The things we eat can do wonderful things, and they can also cause harm. So you were talking about responsibility and how do we do this as coaches, navigate through the system ethically. When making a recommendation for any holistic health or healing modality, whether it's massage or diet or whatever it is, it's to make sure that whoever you're speaking to or referring to this, there's a plus, but for them to know any possible risks in anything that they do. And that's why that transparency is really important. And then with collaboration, if someone is working with multiple people, multiple different providers, multiple different holistic health and health practitioners, whoever they may be working with, it's really important that they know about each other, right? And that's why anytime you go anywhere, there's an intake form, and they always ask you, what are you taking? What are you doing? It's for safety. It's for safety and also for knowledge. And so for that, we do have a responsibility not to harm and to empower. And so that is also a very big basis of collaboration for me.
Yeah, most definitely. And you had brought up the benefits of collaboration. And I think, there's both benefits for ourselves collaborating with others, and there's also benefits for the patients or clients that we're working with. And so I think the benefits for the clients, a good actual role model to look at is the healthcare system, because they do a lot of collaborating. As a nurse, I was constantly working with physical therapists, social workers, provide doctors, obviously, like they do a really great job at collaboration within the healthcare system. So some benefits for the patient or clients and that are able to experience that collaboration between providers is improved experience, close those communication gaps, empowering the client, having a more comprehensive care, like a more holistic approach to care, and it really promotes patient-centered care. So I think all of those are amazing things for the patient or client. We just have to be very careful with the communication, because if there is the lapse in communication, like you were just speaking about, those benefits start to become void because the basis is good communication.
I love the example you gave of the healthcare system as an example of teamwork. That is so true, because anyone you care for in a healthcare setting, there is no I in team. It's so humbling, and to realize that you only work with the people you are with, and it's just so beautiful that way. That was one of my favorite parts, actually. Many of my favorite parts, but one of my favorite parts about working in medicine, being a physician. And what you had mentioned too, the other thing is awareness. It's interesting. Another reason why I think it's important to have that collaboration, that transparency, and is because to enhance awareness of the power of the impact of a multidisciplinary effort. So, whether you are working with a yoga therapist and nutritionist, and there's no doctor involved, maybe you're just working with whoever it is you're working with, we often like to assume, or at least this is for me, I'm not going to speak for everyone, that one knows about the other to the fullest extent. When in reality, I know sometimes I have conversations and yeah, people, it's hard to put yourself in someone else's shoes or someone else's profession unless you're there yourself. So maybe some people know exactly what another person can do. I never assume anything along those lines. And every person, like we had mentioned, is unique. Things will work differently for different people. So if I'm collaborating with someone, or I know I'm working with someone who's collaborating with someone, I am very interested in what the results are and how powerful they are, because usually through collaboration, more can be accomplished than just working with one person.
Yeah, I completely agree. It's a beautiful thing. We talked about before too, knowledge is power. We talked about last week, and we all have different knowledge. We all come with different backgrounds, different trainings, and to be able to put that together, especially to help somebody improve their health and wellness, it's a beautiful thing.
Yeah. Oh, it's so nice. It's just amazing too to to frame the health and well-being resources out there in a positive light. There's no system that's perfect, but to take the good is what we're trying to do. And so to wrap up our session for today, we wanted to share some resources with you on, how do you integrate resources from the healthcare system? If you are a client or a coach, it doesn't matter, right? You want to work with your healthcare provider. They're highly educated. Ask them for, evidence-based. There's so many. You have to be careful online. Obviously, there's a lot of great stuff out there. You have to look at where you're getting the information from and determine if it's credible. Obviously, you should let your healthcare provider know, or whoever you're working with, about the other people you're working with. So that way there is that collaboration and transparency we talked about, right? To optimize whatever you're working on. And it's for you. And then trust, you wanted to trust. So some resources to trust. PubMed is an amazing resource for research. It's free. Granted, many of the articles are free and many are not, but at least the abstracts are always listed there, which is amazing. So that's a beautiful resource. There are many national societies as well that are very credible, have experts in their field. So since we're going through this radical remission coach training, there is a Society of Integrative Oncology. There's a society also for integrative nutrition. There's the American College of Lifestyle Medicine. There's like a global integrative health and medicine organization. There are just so many different resources available. And the one thing that at least coaches we should always advocate for and be aware of is if someone really needs mental health support, to refer them immediately to a licensed mental health professional when needed, and to a licensed medical professional. And this also goes in, we also wanted to share just some resources on how to integrate integrative modalities, right? So obviously encouraging the client to, or whoever you're working with, or if this is you, the person being worked with, do research yourself, see what is out there. There's so much. And these are common ones we just wanted to share. Cheryl and I had put this list together. This is not an all-inclusive means in any which way. Chinese medicine and Chinese medicine, yoga therapy, Ayurveda, Reiki, massage therapy, aromatherapy, nutrition, integrative nutrition, especially. There's holistic and integrative physicians, there's naturopathic physicians, and this list goes on and on and on. So sky's the limit.
Yes, and I feel like I continue to learn about new things every day. So we wanted to end with some tips that you can use as a coach. So some of these we have talked about, but one is really know your scope of practice. What coaching is, what coaching is not. So no, we do not give medical advice. We are not the experts as coaches. You may be an expert in another field that you can explore while you're coaching, but just really following your scope of practice. Two, like we spoke about earlier, would be to create your own directory of referrals. Learn what is there, what resources you have around you, and get to know other professionals, like-minded professionals in health and wellness. And three, be honest when referring. Remember to keep your communication clear. And then just something to say for clients or patients out there looking for more information and trying to optimize their health and wellness. You do not need permission to see multiple professionals. So just make sure whoever you are working with, when appropriate, is aware of the other professionals you are working with. And maybe you'll come across a professional who does not feel comfortable collaborating with somebody else, and then you can take that opportunity to decide if that's the best professional for you that you would want to work with. But it is important to know that you have the power, you have the ability to work with whoever it is that you feel suits you best and can help you get the needs met that you're looking to meet. So thank you all for being here with us today. We really appreciate it. And don't forget to send us messages, emails. Let us know what kind of resources you're using as a coach or as a client, what it is that you would like your coach to have, what kind of information you would like your coach to have for you. So please keep in touch, and we will see you next week.
Thanks,
Take care.
everyone.
Thank you.
Thank you.